Although, given that it's horror-based, this isn't always exactly the best thing, but it's certainly fitting, isn't it? Alright, without further ado, we're going to be going to our first game, which is going to be Catherine Full Body with Crispy Hanako. Take it away.
Hey everybody, look at these lovely ladies. Too bad Valentine's Day's over, isn't it? So I'm joined here by Shaz, who is one of the best competitive players when it comes to Catherine. So say hello, Shaz. Hopefully he can help fill you guys in on the story while I try to go through this and some of the mechanics. Also, Waifu Wars, go ahead, go nuts. Everybody's opinion is valid. Anyway, we are going to start a new game, easy, on Remix. This mode is...
blocks will appear in the puzzles. Recommended for those looking for a fresh experience.
Thanks, narrator. Anyway, we're going to have these Tetris-shaped blocks. It's going to be a little bit more fun. Anyway, time will start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Very well. Please enjoy the world of Catherine Full Body in comfort.
Has it really been that long? It honestly doesn't seem that long. Classic speedrun style, we skip. Classic speedrun strats, we skip every cutscene we can. Except these. Because later these will actually have some story plot to it. Anyway, we're going to go on this little tutorial level. It's going to bother us a couple times with these little pop-ups, but it's not going to be too big of a deal.
Can you hear me on the stream?
Alright, Tetris blocks, movement, gives all those blocks that are the same color within the same area.
Test. Hey, can you hear me?
Just do that. Climb on up.
Oh.
Sorry this isn't the most riveting right now. We're kind of at the beginning of the game. There's not really much to talk about besides survive and climb. There's not much.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward, I think. It's very Kubertian physics. For watching first time seeing it.
You'll also notice a lot of Roadrunner physics too, because blocks will stay hanging in the air for a little bit as well. And much like Whose Line, the prizes don't matter. Okay, can I please skip this cutscene, please?
Very hard tech to hit.
I'm only mashing alternate buttons. Can't be that bad.
So now that things have settled a little bit here, I know we did the first level of the game. For anyone who may just be joining on in or doesn't know much about the world of Catherine, what's the general goal of each level that we're trying to achieve?
Survive. By playing reverse Tetris.
Right.
Totally accurate.
So you start at the bottom of the tower and you're just trying to climb up. It's a speed run, so we won't really have any issues with like running out of time, but the floor actually slowly falls out from under you. So Catherine's kind of like notoriously difficult, so I'm sure that probably people who have played on their own probably die fairly frequently. But you go through a series of levels, kind of like that tutorial one, but when you're actually playing through some of the other stages, there will be some boss levels as well.
Also, pro tip to anybody: do not talk to your girlfriend like this. This is really bad. No, it's Valentine's Day, but come on. Also, don't do this!
Never save.
Never save. Especially if you're running this on a hard drive, do not save. Wait, who's this? We don't know who this is. Although that sheep in purple is pretty dapper.
Oh yeah.
All wearing hats.
Great outfit.
Loving the jockstrap. Really brings out his eyes that we never saw.
Yeah, so I think
we're still
first
kind of in
couple
the
levels.
tutorial.
yeah.
Alright, I got it. Alright, I got it. Alright, I got it.
That's a neat mechanic that's new to Full Body, is that whenever you're spidering, whenever you're hanging, the blocks actually glow where you can touch. So that's really helpful and a really nice quality of life change.
Especially when you're behind the tower and you don't know where you are.
Oh yeah.
There's another quality of life that I have turned off where it actually turns the camera around because that is nauseating.
Yeah, they kind of botched that one a little bit. It's very jarring.
I definitely want to say I love the idea of looking at the checkpoint and then just seeing it like, oh, we're just going to ignore that and immediately just beat the level.
Yeah, just blow right by that.
Also, I have a question from chat, if that's all good. Nameless asks, are these levels randomly generated?
No. Every level is static exactly the same. Which is really good if you want to try to blindfold this run. You can, but I wouldn't suggest it. Especially when we start getting into the bosses, you really don't want to be blindfolded when they attack.
Alright, I got it.
I know one thing I could actually mention right now about Catherine that I'm aware of is every single level introduces new forms of blocks, right?
Every stage, yes. Every major numbered stage. So this stage in particular is introducing crack blocks, and it's also going to be introducing heavy blocks in the boss stage we're about to come up to. Spoiler. But, yeah, it just slowly introduces mechanics. It's not like you're overrun with them.
Yeah, it does. The game does a pretty good job. Remix mode, the only thing that is special is that every stage is going to feature the Tetris blocks, but otherwise you can start to slowly see that, oh, there's cracked blocks now. You'll see some spike blocks, and then every stage will introduce one new mechanic on top of each other. And towards the end, it combines them all.
Should we explain what each block does? Obviously, the white block is just kind of a normal block, doesn't really do anything. The crack block, you can only step on it twice before it disappears forever. And the heavy block takes about 3 times as long as the white block. And then, like I poorly mentioned earlier, the multicolored Tetris blocks move as one singular unit. Some would say it's an absolute unit, but...
I think one block type that we won't see in this are the laser ones.
Do not die.
So this is the first boss. You can't really see them because we're kind of running away real quick. It just looks like someone's angry with their food.
Yeah, could be anyone.
But apparently she found us. I don't know how she did that, but...
Definitely could have fooled me. And Crispy picked up an item, and that is going to clear everything on the screen and make it just...
Use this.
Except for the Tetris blocks, because those aren't effective for some reason. Special kind of sun. I'll just to go say hi to the boss. Hi boss, how you doing? Okay, see ya. So what are you doing, honestly? What am I doing? Jeez.
There we go.
I wanted to say hi to the boss. How could this happen? She just looks so lonely.
So I guess this does open the question as well. So if all the levels tend to be pre-generated, does this game have a lot of RNG in it, or any at all?
The original game had a lot of RNG on the last stage. And then you also have the RNG with how the bosses attack you as well. Also, Kappa Heaven. But in this game, they basically nerfed all the RNG. Especially on easy. The bosses don't attack you, all the randomness is essentially removed because it's actually mapped to a sequence, and so thanks for getting the DLC. I now have an extra pop-up to deal with.
The thing I love about the run is that, because I know the game wants to throw you between the block puzzles and a lot of, like, lore in the bar where you can make decisions, you can kind of talk to the people. There's a lot of dialogue, but you don't really get to see it during the speedrun because you just leave the bar each time.
Yeah, they just kind of speak Simlish at you. Because you're jumping from the next line.
Yeah, all the fast skips.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Also,
the bar sequences normally play out like in a really almost dating sim kind of way, but mostly just to talk to the other patrons who do show up at the landings of the nightmare. Really.
So we're at Torture Chamber. That sheep just exploded. I'm scared.
oh, it is a horror
Jeez.
game after all.
Jeez. Oh, okay. Silence over. Apparently he got something. I don't know what he got, though. Kind of skipped the explanation of that.
At the top.
I mean, I didn't get it. Kind of just gave me a staircase.
Very nice of the game to do that.
Very.
So the other part of the game are these questions in the confessionals that normally these determine this little bar that sways one way or the other, and that's going to determine your ending.
Yeah, they kind of like playing 20 questions with this game.
Actually, there's a question for the questions. Do they have any impact on speed routing? So is getting particular answers going to be faster, or a particular ending going to be quicker? I guess, is there a faster girl to choose?
Faster girl, no. There are faster questions, though. You want to just pray to the RNG gods that you get the questions that are always 50-50 answers. And there's not many. Because in the scene immediately after where it's charting the meter and everything, if it's a 50-50 answer, it doesn't take as long to animate. So getting everything 50-50 is just like basically impossible.
Wait, aren't those questions based on like the global player base of Catherine?
When you're playing online, yes. In order to speedrun this game and save some loading time, you play offline.
Oh. Huh, I didn't know that.
Which I know you did all cutscenes run of this the other day. You'll notice that there aren't any little floating orbs where people have died.
Yeah.
Those are completely gone because I'm offline.
Yeah, they kind of did like a Dark Souls-ish kind of thing, right? Bloodstains essentially where
Oh man, if they had Dark Souls in this thing where people actually came back and controlled the sheep where they died, that'd be great.
just suddenly multiplayer.
I do know, shout-outs to, I guess, certain parts of the Catherine community, because I know Catherine's actually kind of weird because it's also a fighting game.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some debate about that, but yeah. Yeah, I organize a lot of the Catherine multiplayer events. Just a bunch of blockheads, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's got really fun multiplayer.
Oh yeah, it's a good thing we needed to look at this boss, because it's kind of well,
Ah!
there she is.
There's at least something to be said about the bosses in this game.
Yeah, they really let the horror parts kind of come through in the bosses, so it's kind of a shame that the speedrun, they're just stuck at the bottom the whole time.
Or is that, what is it? That weird title of a show is like, in this episode, the developer's undisguised finish. Or poorly hidden finish,
yes.
I should say.
I mean, with this game, it's not exactly wrong. Or I wouldn't even say it's really disguised.
No, it's kind of out there. Especially that one, just in your face.
You got a mail.
One thing that Full Body added to the first half of the game, it added a lot of exposition and a lot of cutscenes that actually go back in time to when Vincent and Catherine with a K first started dating. So that's what some of the cutscenes that we're skipping over are filling place in right now.
Tonight's stage is the Inquisition.
Is this Inquisition?
Yeah.
I think Inquisition's the shortest one, right?
In the original, yeah, Inquisition's the shortest stage. It only has 2 levels to it, so it has this introduction one and then the boss. But they ruined it in Full Body because on easy we can't do the fun strat anymore.
No, really?
Yeah, well,
Is that the one where you break the entire stage?
yes.
Oh.
That's a shame.
Say hello to the best item in the game. The drink.
Oh.
So what does the juice do?
It allows you to climb 2 steps. Well, climb is a very loose term when you're being thrusted into the air by a magical force.
Yeah, so the juice has changed. In the original, you kind of could climb 2 steps for a number of seconds. In this one, it's a use-based item, which also shows up in the Babel mode, the challenge stages, that mostly get unlocked after you beat the game. But pretty much it lets you go up a number of steps. The normal drink is 2, but I think there's also a 3-step too. Is that in Full Body or does it get canned?
That is canned. That is also in quote unquote super easy in the original End Life.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I keep seeing it in chat. I hope this speedrun has you on the edge of your seats.
We need an edge counter to hear how many times they say it. Also, look, we're already on the next boss.
Yep, this stage is really short. Also, I'm just gonna.
Baby is the killer.
I'm just gonna angle it downwards just so everybody can see it.
Well, it is the killer.
Or on speedruns from the trip, get some horror stuff going.
I'm just gonna angle like this. I kind of know what's going on.
That's the nice thing of all the stages kind of being static, right?
Yeah. I said now I gotta wait.
Actually, as a question I have really quick, with the item usages, like with the soda, is there a particular time you're looking to use these? And in theory, could you hold it, like, let's say, for like the entire game?
No. You can hold it between stages, but as soon as you wake up, you have to get rid of it.
So you usually want to make the most of your usage per level.
Yep. And honestly, a lot of the times I forget where I use them from the last run even, so it's just like, whatever. There are optimal places to use them, but
getting some good skips there, dude.
Double pause.
Very cool.
If only that would let me skip the next cutscene too. Kappa Heaven.
Kappa.
Kappa Heaven's the best part.
You got a meal.
Alright, I hope everybody is nice and cozy because this next stage is going to get pretty cold.
Yeah, coming up is the quadrangle. It's the all ice map. The gimmick there is that you slide on the ice blocks. Very original. They're kind of dangerous, like if you get caught near the edge, because you'll just go right off and die. But not much of a problem in easy mode. Sure.
Shaz, did you forget to emphasize the word edge in your sentence?
Oh, I am so sorry. It's tiring in Catherine to keep track.
Whee! Whee!
Sliding on ice.
I think it's cold.
So, there are some gold bars littered around the map as well. If you're playing the game for other reasons, you can see in the top right there's actually some step counter and some points that you acquire. And you can use the coins to actually buy items at the landing. And then they also give you the trophy at the end of the level. And that is used to unlock some Babel levels, depending on how many gold trophies you get and stuff.
That was in the original. In this game, you just beat the game.
You just get them all? Oh my goodness. Everything I know is outdated.
You got past the ice and made it to the red floor. Tell you to smile a bit.
Does he have ram horns? Because he's a bit sheepish. Ready for more ice. I'm gonna go grab this drink.
So the ice blocks, how easy is it to accidentally die with them?
Vary if there's a string of them. But as long as it's a single one and it's the last one you stood on, you're fine. So, for example, if I were to slide off this, I can't because I just can't be. But if there were two leading up to that, then yes, I would slide right off.
Yeah, in easy mode, they like to kind of put the dark, heavy blocks on the outside, and that kind of prevents you from accidentally sliding off. But in general, it's pretty easy to lose your footing and slip around.
It was a sight to see.
Cutscene. Oh wait, it's gone.
What's up?
What's up, sheep? Yeah, whenever
Yeah,
you
so
walk over to some little
I
bits on
didn't
this
think you'd be able to lead the other
yeah, the landings are really cool. All those sheep there that have the custom thing, like we saw the police sheep, they are actually all patrons in the bar, and they don't have their memories when they're awake. So you kind of talk to them in the dreams and help them. You can give them climbing techniques, and it's a really cool like bonding experience. And you also learn stuff too, and you can actually carry them through to the end.
Alright, so I'll wait for the...
Do not die.
Thanks, game. Doom's Bride, yeah. Totally don't know who this is. I actually don't. We've been skipping all these cutscenes.
Right.
We'll assume they're nice.
I mean,
Nice lady.
she's got flowers. How could she be mean?
Right? You're just curious where you're going. There's nothing wrong with that.
She's just being really protective.
Almost there. I got it. I got it. I made it.
Nice job. Great escape.
Nigh flawless completion.
I just love how quick these go, because I know like the actual game like makes the climb some of this really hard thing. Meanwhile, he's just like Vincent's just spamming up the tower.
Oh yeah, there's some schmovement going on for sure. Normally, yeah, you're right. I mean, the game is extremely difficult, so it's really cool to. But it's hard. It's a puzzle game, right? So once you kind of get that down, you can kind of map it pretty easily.
Yeah.
You got a mail.
And seeing how I've probably got about 300 or so hours in the story mode.
Yeah, I'm sure you're somewhat on autopilot once you remember the routes, right?
Yeah, basically.
The hands know what they got to do.
It also doesn't help that they really neutered the bosses in full body because they do not like to attack you on easy.
Yeah.
Is tonight's location. This clock has been
Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, oh, okay, this is definitely like very nice. They're very generous.
Dice should know
Thanks,
a thing or
Atlas.
two about this next stage. It's the clock tower. Might be the wrong one, but he should know a thing or two about it.
See, that's why it's a horror game. It has a clock tower. Those are the rules.
Right, I got it.
Yeah. The gimmick on Clock Tower are these bomb blocks. So you step on them and they start the timer, and when the timer ends, they go boom. And everything around them that is red turns into a cracked block. You just have to be a little bit careful because they can like stack up pretty quickly, and your whole tower will kind of get a little bit flimsy.
Yeah. And if you have a clock block be bombed by a bomb block, then it just disappears.
Right, it just eats already cracked blocks.
It actually has a slight off-topic question, but I realized we haven't really gone over this yet. What do the undos and the pillows do?
What are undos? I don't use
Right.
those. But
Yeah.
pillows, they give you an extra undo, and undos will, well, undo. Like this.
Undo.
One action gone. So if you make a mistake, you can make up to 5 mistakes in this, or undo your last 5 actions, so it's not that big a deal if you make a mistake.
Yeah, the pillow system was, and the undo system was reworked from Classic. In Classic, you actually had like lives and you get essentially a game over. But in this, instead, the pillows, like Crispy said, they give you undos, and you just have, I think, unlimited retries of the whole level.
Yeah.
This is the 6th floor. Hit the what?
Let's see, what else haven't we really gone over yet that kind of needs explaining? Oh! You might notice that there's the autoplay button that's up in the top corner. No. Not allowed.
I can't imagine it'd be fast even if you did autoplay, though.
Oh, it's horrendously slow.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Remember how we said we're not supposed to walk on bomb blocks? Yeah, I'm about to break that rule.
Right. Not for the faint of heart or the inexperienced. But if you know what you're doing, go for it.
Who's ready for
Catherine.
fireworks?
Catherine's a 3D game. I saw you go in the background there. Saw it.
Actually, another question, I guess, kind of related to the bomb blocks. And I guess it's funny because I guess some of the questions I do know the answer to, but they definitely help with the chat experience here. Is it possible to mess up a stage and break it enough to where you can't beat the game?
Yeah. It certainly is possible. A lot of the stages, especially like the ones that we're seeing, are designed to make that kind of difficult, especially with the undos. But in general, yeah, it's actually very easy to set up a lot of the stages in an unwinnable position. Especially with bomb blocks.
Actually gonna go get this drink real quick.
Okay. Put a spider around, yeah.
We spidering don't really do that a lot.
Yeah. We only go up. Or we try to only go up.
The side is acceptable as long as it's useful.
We really should have been having the edge counter.
Yeah.
Also, there's a question in chat about the linked blocks. Yeah, so the linked blocks are part of the remix mode, and they're the Tetris thing that Crispy Hanako described earlier, where they all move as one unit.
Absolute unit.
An absolute unit.
Yeah, the tricky thing to wrap your head around with the Tetris blocks is that, like, if one part of them connects on an edge, the whole figure connects on the edge. And then also, if you have, like, a T-shaped Tetris block, you can't spider across the middle because, like, you can only spider across the top part.
Yeah, like
So it's very...
the golden edge. As soon as there's a golden edge on it, you can spider across it. Oh boy, everybody's favorite easy stage. The ants. I thought this game was about sheep, not ants.
I mean, they're closely related to sheep. You know, part of the same
Right.
something. I don't know much about biology. Do you have a
Kingdom?
biologist
I don't
in chat?
even know. Yeah.
They're degrees in separation, right? Ants and sheep. They're I think of the word genus. I think that's what I'm trying to think of. Does that mean that the ants cheated on their wives?
The queen? No, never.
Maybe they're like the anti-sheep.
Yeah, I think that there is a plot point about the ants are like the witch's eyes or something like that. Like, it's kind of strange. They show up in Vince's apartment though because he has a cake that he doesn't eat. So.
What is he on a diet? He's already skin as a bone.
But also, I like how because this game is a very, like someone asked earlier, is this a movie or is this a game? And this game is a lot more movie than game. Funny enough, the run's still like a good hour, like let's say hour 5 minutes or so. But I think in the actual cutscenes, like the ants show up after like a day of him having a cake in his apartment.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think the timeline on that is right. It's very strange.
I have to wonder what kind of apartment is this guy living in, where ants show up after literally a day after leaving a cake out.
I don't know, but he lives in an apartment where his door sounds like the submarine bulkhead. It squeaks like nobody's business. Oh boy, the boss. Remember this one from like 2 stages ago? I don't. That was too fast.
Also, I got an answer. Apparently, the word I was looking for is sheep and ants are part of the same kingdom.
Yes, the animal.
Right. The animal kingdom? Yeah. As broad as it can get. Yeah, this time we got baby, but with a chainsaw.
Horror games of it.
Yeah. Normally, when he attacks, he does like a really cool.
Oh, he's
like,
actually-
couple
yeah, he
things.
actually
Oh,
does
does
it.
he? Oh, okay.
He's breaking the stage in half.
Yeah, he chops up the stage. He shoots actual chainsaws that like follow you around.
Oh, okay, you're giving Junior too much credit here. He doesn't do that.
Oh, what?
Not anymore. Not uneasy.
Aye, aye, aye. Weren't kidding with the easy mode stuff, man.
Hey, give him some credit. He's at least cutting the stage.
Yeah.
Can I get this? Oh, yeah. Awesome.
Nice.
What a save.
If a Tetris block gets cut, the remainders I think just turn to normal white blocks, right?
Yeah, exactly, yes.
Pro tip. Out there.
Don't get,
Sometimes it can be useful.
don't get your Tetris blocks cut. They'll just turn you into blocks.
Oh, apparently there's also another clarification in chat that apparently ants can find sugar in less than a day, so I guess it's not that unrealistic.
Huh, okay. I guess if there were already ants somewhere.
I like to believe there's already ants there, and the cake just kind of showed them.
The beacon, it shines. Go to it.
Now's our time.
Awesome, we don't have to
Get
go
the
for
cake.
Rin. Nice. Everybody who went to go likes Rin, sorry about your luck, but this is not the speedrun for you.
Although I think there is actually a Rin speedrun that adds the extra series of levels at the very end of the game.
Oh yeah, there's like 6 of them. Which one do you want?
Yeah, the categories for Catherine Full Body are elaborate. Pretty much like everything is a thing. But Catherine, I think Full Body has 15 endings.
There's
got-
a lot.
It's got a lot.
4,
Definitely over a dozen.
4 for C. Catherine, 4 for K. Catherine, 2 for Vincent being by himself, 3 for Rin. Yeah. So, do the math. I'm tired.
Yeah, yeah. A lot. There's a number. There's certainly a number of endings.
Who knows what struggles may lie ahead?
So this is my
Seven,
favorite stage.
Corridor is our locale tonight.
It's my absolute favorite stage because there's so many of them, but they take like 10 seconds. And I am not kidding.
Yeah. This part's really cool.
So as a question I'm seeing in chat, what are exactly the differences between Full Body and the classic Catherine?
Well,
Is there any
there,
major ones?
there are a lot of gameplay differences that are fairly minor, but they add up. And story-wise, there's a whole lot. Story-wise, I mean, we have a whole new character with Rin, and each of the original girls, they get a different ending as well. So there's quite a bit. Not only that, but there's also content. So this is easy remix mode, but there is a remix version of every difficulty, as well as the original. So it is pretty much like the original game with twice as much content.
Let me just say, the achievement to get all golden prizes, it's 192 stages.
I'm gonna let that sink in. Yeah. It's incredible. So I think that if you played the original game, 11 years ago or heard of it, and you never gave it a shot, or you did and you're thinking, oh, it's Full Body worth it, I think so. It goes on sale fairly frequently, and you get like twice as much content. So if you liked it originally, I think Full Body has something for you.
Getting pretty far into the red here.
And we haven't really been touching on the story that much, but the game itself is Ah, jeez. The story is kind of anime-ish. If you're, well, it's fairly heavy anime stylized, but
This is my favorite stage, by the way.
Like this?
This item takes all the challenge out of it.
Alright, I got it. How's this?
that 3x3, yeah, dude, that item is so crazy good.
Alright, I got it. Alright, I got it. A little more.
And it's over.
Oh my god.
You weren't kidding. That pretty much flew by.
I hope you can keep this.
Yeah, that was super nice to see, because there's a lot of stuff like when you get into Babel where you kind of push the blocks on the outside and then go back up. And so that was, that just was so cool to see with the 3x3 making that super easy.
There haven't been any special blocks yet. We will see those in the boss level, though.
Right.
Oh, what am I doing? Oh, I'm down at the bottom. Oh, man. That's gonna take me a minute to get
That's
back
just
up.
the worst.
Alright, I got it.
But yeah, so you're grabbing that, you got that juice early, so you're able to make the route a little bit more trivial.
Even more so, because this, I would have to climb all the way back down. Not anymore.
Right.
How's this?
Conveniently placed block. Gets me all the way up here.
Alright, I got it.
You are gaming.
Got it.
This is the way they intended the songs.
I mean, honestly, yes, because they put the
Yeah.
items there.
Right.
Oh no, setback.
Alright, I got it.
Now, the reason why I couldn't slide all the way over is because of that purple block can't go in the middle of it, so I had to.
You're becoming a.
So the better question is, how much does playing Catherine help out with playing Tetris?
I'll get her back.
Not enough.
Does not translate.
No, unfortunately. My Tetris skills are kind of whack.
I don't even know how to do a T-spin. I can make Vincent spin. That's about it.
That's a V-spin.
Okay, final stage. This one, they briefly changed.
Okay, yeah, I am very unfamiliar with what this looks like in full body.
Did
They're gonna be showing me something.
I mean to do that? Yeah, do this.
I see.
Let's do this.
Got it, yeah. Most things are pretty fixable.
I need to push that. Whoops. Fixable.
Absolutely.
Look, I'm an old man. I should have been in bed an hour and a half ago. I'm tired. Vincent's tired. We're all tired.
Oh yeah, we're playing in the dreams. It's time for bed.
It is a good sleepy game.
Especially with the piano. Maybe not being in the minor key, but the piano nonetheless.
Welcome, little lamb. I see you've
You can also count the sheep.
Does anybody actually count sheep to go to sleep?
Not me. I imagine some people do. Isn't it because sheep sounds like sleep?
I think that's actually a line
I
they
think
actually
you're
say in
right.
the game.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Right, so, boss time.
The shadow within has
This is
appeared.
definitely the
It's
final
safe.
level,
Do
right?
not die.
Oh, that's
Looks
it.
like it on the board.
This. I got it.
So those are the spring blocks, the trampolines. I think we've seen them before, but I think it's 5 spaces high it sends you.
Yeah,
It
5.
sends you a number of spaces high.
We actually would have seen them in stage 4, but easy doesn't count.
Right. Nice behind the tower. That's another quality of life change is where your character actually gets highlighted too. And now everything gets real spooky, real dark.
Minor organs.
Alright, I got it. Alright, I got it.
But we don't need to see. We already know.
Anybody who's already typing out step on the purple block, no.
It's a cool trick. Ah, right. So this is a cutscene with Steve, the other sheep, and the other person who Catherine with a C has been seeing.
See,
And he meets a bad end. We'll just put it that way. He gets eaten.
brief cap of heaven. Depressed Vincent is depressed. Either that or he's tired.
Maybe a little bit of both.
You got a mail.
We know what happens if you don't show us. You're just gonna take our word for it.
So this is
The last stage, like it says.
right.
Welcome to
The last stage, for sure.
Catherine
This
has
is the
appeared.
escort mission.
It's the case.
Every
Do
game
not
has one. Every good game has an escort mission. But yeah, so you guide Catherine with a K up, and she is not as fast as Crispy.
She hasn't been doing this the last 45 minutes.
Is she trying her best?
Yeah.
That's what's important.
Everybody's got a first run, right?
Right.
No need to be ashamed of your first run.
Yeah, everybody starts somewhere.
Alright, I got it.
Save a little bit of time by pulling this block so she doesn't climb down and then back up.
Yeah, sometimes her AI makes questionable decisions, right?
Yeah.
Depending on like what paths are available.
I got it.
The boss here isn't that demon child at the bottom of the screen, it's more the AI.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially in a mode where normally the boss like periodically shoots lightning, right? So you kind of have this mechanic in the bottom right is Catherine wait, which doesn't matter here, but normally you have to kind of pay attention, and if she's about to step on a lightning block, you kind of have to tell her to slow down.
Alright, and then as soon as she steps on this white block... Alright, see ya.
It's ringing.
Bye.
Peace.
She'll find her way up.
There's a fun fact about that staircase at the end that looked pretty special is that is actually like an item block type in the game. I thought that was neat when playing around with stuff.
Oh, bathroom scene, that's like the third time we've been in there?
But the question is, do we go back to Kappa Heaven?
If you're here for Kappa
No,
Heaven,
at this point.
yeah,
I think it's out. Thomas Mutton quote, let's go.
You got a mail.
Wait a minute. Why is the time still going? It said it was the last stage! Why am I still playing this?
Yeah, the game lies. The game lies a lot.
Oh, nobody's allowed to watch this. This is the block scene. Recording is not allowed. Kill the stream. Come on. We can't let people
Atlas,
see
shut
this.
it down.
Shut it down.
I like how games do that, where they try to prevent you from recording them.
The weird thing is that warning pops up on stage 6 in the Japanese version.
I don't
Really?
know why?
Oh, could be any reason.
Welcome to my realm. You can run this.
Right. So, for people who are paying attention to the plot, now that voice should sound a little bit familiar. That is actually the bartender. So he is going to be our final opponent.
I love this line. I'm coming,
stage-
Daddy. I'm coming. Wait for me. What?
This stage has actually a really cool design. It's got 3 separate, like, smaller paths that normally you have to kind of weave between them. So you kind of have to go from, like, left to right to middle. The mystery blocks can be any of the other kinds of blocks, but I think in full body they are actually predetermined.
Yeah,
Is that right?
Yeah, it's predetermined. I don't quite remember the pattern, but there's a string of like 3 spike blocks in a row. We don't get that far into the pattern anyway.
Right. It won't come into play, but that is something that was greatly changed. They also, in the original game, the mystery blocks would activate as soon as you stepped on them, as opposed to full body, they activate as soon as you step off of them. So a heavy nerf. I would say if you're looking for one of like the most difficult games, you probably should check out like full body on hard. If you try remix on hard, that is like next level.
Yeah, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah.
Let me just say, on my casual playthrough, I mean, it's not very much, but I believe I died like 10 times.
Right.
Which,
But,
speedrunner died 18 times. Oh, that's actually kind of bad.
Yeah. Yeah, there's your string of 3. Which is really nice, being able to know what they're going to be ahead of time. That can definitely take out a lot of the anxiety. Take some of the edge off.
No, it never gets old.
It's a pretty good one.
Come on. Oh, I didn't want you to do. There we go.
He's being rude. Yeah. As you progress through the game, there are the enemy sheep that like roam the level, but as part of the plot, the monster block can be brutal. As part of the plot, they turn more and more vicious looking. So like now they have these axes, when originally they just started as normal sheep.
Now they're mean sheep.
They're bad guys.
This is mean sheep.
Oh.
Some of those monster blocks weren't very nice, but it was still fun.
Yeah, a little bit more explanation on them. Most of the block types are fairly straightforward, but the monster blocks, they move, and their AI is definitely programmed to try to block you wherever they can. And then their other gimmick is that you cannot spider on them. If you try to spider across them, they'll actually lick you and you'll fall. So,
We'll see about that.
yeah. As part of the plot point, the mysterious voice on the other side of the confessional, their identity eventually gets revealed. There's a lot of like fourth wall stuff that happens in Catherine. That's at least the first time that I played it, it was one of the first games that like had a cool impact in the storytelling department. I thought. Yeah.
I see someone saying, imagine playing this in first person. I will pay money if someone makes this a VR game.
I'm sick just thinking about that.
Just for the love of God, have teleport movement. I don't like
Yeah, the
locomotion.
amount of bouncing sounds terrible.
I'm gonna wait here for a second. No.
Nice.
I had to wait, otherwise this tower would have been off kilter by about 3 blocks.
Yeah, sometimes you can go so fast that notice that we're at the top as the stage is falling. So if you start to move with stuff before things settle, you can actually be in a really bad way. Sometimes you actually have to slow down in a speed run.
Who'd have thought?
Right, so now you're trying to bait the guy to come down. Full body added that mechanic too, where you can actually swap places with the opponent if they're standing on that block, which is really nice because in story mode in Classic, sometimes you get stuck with people blocking you.
I'm just gonna go over to the tower.
There you go.
I'm gonna monster block. I'm not gonna hurt you. Much. Oh, I bit his tongue. Unfortunately. Look at a wife and family.
By your struggle.
You know, I take it for granted, but I'm thinking more about the first person and how many times I hit the camera to look up and see what blocks are coming. Oh man, just imagining that in first person would be crazy, I think.
Oh, yeah. Just
I'd
watch.
break my neck just looking up the whole time.
It's like you. I think. And the blocks are about as tall as Vincent, so what? They're like 5'7", 5'8", something like that?
Yeah, they're like 6 foot tall blocks almost.
So you'd have to actively reach up in order to go on to the next one if this was VR.
Yeah. The first time, I'll keep it a mystery, but the first time that you play the game, it does not tell you which like sphere is actually the end. So like there's a lot of anticipation when you're actually playing the game and you've died so many times. Like when will it actually end? So it's really cool part of the game.
I'm sorry if I'm making anybody nauseous by moving the camera, but I kind of like to know what part's coming up next.
Yeah, it can certainly be disorienting for people who are not Catherine inclined.
Call them vertically challenged or something? Because they're climbing up the tower?
You can also say Catherine inclined.
I like that.
Is that inclined
I like that
with
a lot.
Is that inclined with a C or a K?
I see. I see.
Very nice.
Phew.
I still, yeah, Catherine with a Q. They actually did it.
Oh, I went too fast. The stage spawned weird. Okay, this might take a minute or two here.
Got it. So what happens when a stage starts to get a little bit funky? A common way to fix it is going to be to try to push stuff out. A lot of the stages are pretty malleable when you get good. That's part of the techniques that you can kind of learn, as well as that 3x3 block kind of made things super easy. So we already fixed it.
They definitely changed this from the original. This used to just be all dark blocks that you could move.
Yeah.
They made it a minefield, and with hard it's even worse.
You're still alive. It's
Wow.
Wow.
Oh man, that audio sounded really crazy. Is next a boss?
Yeah, this next stage is the boss.
Cool.
Thomas Mutton has appeared. It's the killer. Do not.
I
die.
love Mutton's design as a boss. I think it's so cool with the go-ahead chair.
Can I just say NA aim? Check.
Honestly, same. I like how he just sits in his chair the whole fight.
He's lounging, man.
Yeah, he's big chillin'. Yeah, his gimmicks are kind of neat. I think he's got the gun and I think he's got the gavel too, right? You get
You
later
just
on,
had to
he
mention it,
randomizes.
didn't
There you
So it's not random.
Right on.
It changes every block to a different kind of block, and or every special block to a different special block, and it's on a cycle.
go. Gotcha.
He also has the foot.
Oh, that's
The stop.
that's Crybaby mode. Okay, his aim's actually gotten better. He took some Counter-Strike classes.
Yeah. Aim trainer.
Aimbot, more like it.
Like it.
And you can bait his shots. It's not that hard.
Yeah, he's not the brightest sheet.
I need to do something different.
That's one way to do it.
All right, last boss. Yeah, that's game, right?
Yeah, definitely. You escaped.
Or have you?
Every level only has one boss, right?
I don't. Dices, where's the credit sequence?
I don't know.
We're going off script.
Wait, you guys got a script?
It usually comes off the top of my head.
So, cat jams at the ready.
Pause. Daisy has appeared.
And I love Doomazid's boss design here.
He lost his cozy chair.
He went full on superpowers. And the music, everything about this is pretty neat.
Alrighty. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy.
That's a neat sequence. So I don't know. Does he do any attacks?
If you're at the bottom for too long, he does do the Doomazid beam.
I see. When I first played the game, I didn't realize that he was saying Doomazid beam. I thought he was saying Doopity beam. So for the longest time, that's what I called it. Until somebody looked at me like I was crazy. Rightfully so. But I thought that was fun to share.
It is.
Alright, so yeah, I am cursed. Whatever that means. Don't really know.
It doesn't mean much of anything, really.
No. Something about I must have done this for absolute safety. Not that it matters because I'll spawn right back where I was. But yeah, cursed. Every time you pull a block, all the special blocks minus these dark hole blocks will change into a different one. And those are on a cycle. The best way is to get a monster block and change them into a spring block, but there's not really walls high enough on easy to really get any benefit out of it. Oh yeah, he does this. I'm gonna say no. So just to get rid of the randomness, I just negated his last attack.
So just won't spawn in now?
Yep. You do not get any meteors if you undo immediately after he spawns in.
Yeah, you undo the trigger. Yeah, that's funny.
For tech, time comes up on the 151st step, which is in 11 steps from now.
You see the number in the top right.
In time.
I think you got world record.
Yeah, 31 seconds under world record. Yay! Hiatus strats, let's go! They're real.
What then?
We do it live. Very nice.
I'll let Vincent basically proclaim my feelings as of right now.
Pause.
Oh, I don't want to pause again.
Hell yeah!
Pause.
There we go.
Oh, GG to that.
Very, very nice.
Congratulations on a marvelous feat.
I mean, we're under estimate. What ending did we get? I really don't care, but